Mahaganapatin Manasa Smarami Mahadeva Mudam Shirasa Namami Mahaganapatin Manasa Smarami. There are two topics we should know very clear about. One is the pursuit of knowledge has certain facts which we need to know. There are some facts we have to know when we pursue any knowledge. And that will open up another topic. We will talk about it later. We all know in order to know something, you need to know something. This much we know. It's like looking at a dictionary. I used to have difficulty. I had a dictionary, English dictionary, when I was going to school. English dictionary. New model English dictionary or something. This book was very sacred book for me. This book always I used to see for the words. My problem was to know one word. I refer to this word, and then there are 3 other words given. Minimum. 3 words are there. All the 3 words I don't know. So then I end up seeing each one of them. Each one has got 3 words. So minimum 3 words. So then there again one I don't know. So how are you going to understand? It's just impossible. Then only I understood, unless you know, you will never know. So this is an astounding discovery for me when I was young. You have to know something in order to know something more. So this in Sanskrit we say adhikritasya adhikaraha. Unless you are adhikrita, you have no adhikara eligibility. You have to have something, some structure in order to know something else. So knowledge is easy only for the person who is ready for it. Knowledge is generally we say sulabha. Lakshmi is durlabha. Lakshmi is difficult because you have to earn Lakshmi. Knowledge is very easy. Open your eyes, you will see Swami sitting here. No problem. It's very easy to see a high riser. You don't require money. So if you have to build a high riser, that you have to be a CEO of some company, okay? So to build a high riser, you require a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of material. But to know that this is a high riser, no problem. So they say, knowledge is sulabha. It's not. Not just a simple perception. Even that is difficult when your eyes have problem. That is also difficult. Certain decibels you don't hear. Certain notes you don't hear. Certain frequency, notes in certain frequency, you don't hear. And that's all a problem. Then afterwards. So you can't say it is easy. It's not easy. Nor difficult. It all depends upon how well the means of knowledge is available for you. When it becomes knowledge like mathematics, you want to know something, what is topology. So topology means, what do you think topology? Talking about the top, It's called topology. Talking about the top of what do you call this, on the top, the chocolate and all that, the top. A topology is to understand about space, etc. So you need to have geometry. So unless you have certain minimum knowledge of geometry, you are not going to talk about spaces, you are not going to study about spaces. So adhikritasya adhikaraha. That is why we have got graded syllabus. And this, unless you study this first lesson, second lesson, you cannot go. And unless you cover the second lesson, third lesson, you cannot go. That's why I say arithmetic, mathematics is purely logical progression, therefore you have to know in order to know further. It's not Indian history or something. You can start from somewhere and you can end somewhere. There is nothing to worry about it. You need not know anything in order to study these things. Because even if you know, so it's going to be a bluff. And so what is the big deal? So it's all perception of some people. So whatever it is, something recorded, something not recorded, something is inferred. Even recorded is from the standpoint of one person. What was behind, what was the whole thing, nobody knows really. The history is a silly thing, it is. So, but not in maths, you need progression. There is a progression there. You have to know in order to know. There is no progression. Aurangzeb was born this particular year. This is all Indian history. Aurangzeb was born in which year? So I wrote, when I asked me, I wish he was never born. That's what I wrote. Yeah. So this is what I wrote. What I would have written, Not I wrote. This has no progression or anything. This has no meaning. These things are all, you don't require a great infrastructure for all this nonsense. But in maths you have to know. You have to know in order to go further. That's why I gave that example. Adhikritasya adhikaraha. People who say I am weak in maths are not weak in maths. Some lessons were, either they were not available, they were not there, or the teacher himself didn't know much. And therefore those areas are islands. So on which lot of structures are there. So weak, definitely weak. So you become weak. I am weak. Nobody is weak in maths. Some lessons you didn't get them properly. Afterwards, the progression is impossible for you to cope up with. Then you conclude that I am weak in maths. This is a very common thing for people to say, I am weak in maths. All these children also, some I am weak in maths. And so, mathematics means logic. It's logical progress. So adhikritasya adhikara you can understand now. So similarly also, here, knowledge, what is the knowledge that we are here in for? It's not something that I am going to perceive. If that is so, then I can hone my senses properly, I can add instruments, etc. It's not a matter for inference either. Self is self-existent. Self is self-evident. Now I can talk. You can see how much I spend all this. Now I can mention this and proceed. Otherwise I can't mention and proceed. So self is the only thing which is self-evident. Everything else is evident to the self. If the self is self-evident, then I don't require any means of knowledge to tell me that I exist, that I am. But then the question here is that the self happens to be the cause of this entire world. Happens to be. That is the truth about it. If it is a truth, it is not a matter of belief. It is a thing to be understood. And it is being self. And then you require a means of knowledge. Suppose I say, this teaching itself is the means of knowledge for that. Then, so you require what is the infrastructure? What kind of infrastructure you have for this? So then we say, then you have a certain, we have to look into the nature of knowledge, what is the topic, etc. So when you sign up for a course in electronics, so there is no, suppose there is a form you have to fill up. So what do you know, what all you have studied so far, what it is all about, all that you say. But in that, there is no column. So do you have surrender? Do you have adambitvam, amanitvam, ahimsa, kshantihi? All these are all qualifications. Arjavam, etc. These qualifications are not mentioned, means so many values and attitudes, etc. are not really asked for. Even in employment, they don't ask for it. They only ask, are you honest? That's all. Just to find out, do you have any criminal record? That's all. That is one column is always there. And they will say, were you ever punished for any crime? That is one question is always there in everything. Was there any default in payment, etc.? So this is, even if you say no, then they will check up. Understand? Your whole Jatakam horoscope is there with everybody else except you. You don't have all the record, they have it all about you. And therefore, so this you have to answer them all this, but there is nothing, the questions like attitudes, etc., there is no. They don't need all that. So from all this, what we understand, that the nature of pursuit, what do you pursue, determines what you must have. If you have cognitive skills, you can learn anything. From astrology to zoology, A to Z, understand? So you can, from anatomy to zoology, okay? Whatever, you can learn. Alchemy also you can learn. So this, you can learn anything. From A to Z you can learn if you have got cognitive skills. So, but here, the cognitive skills alone are not enough in this knowledge. Why? Because what I want to know happens to be what I want to be. The difference is very clear. So what I want to be is different from what I want to know. I want to know zoology, I study zoology, but I don't want to be, the topic of zoology. Understand? I want to know, what we say, geology. But I don't want to become the topic of geology, even though I will be, but I don't want to be. So I want to study microbiology, but I don't want to be microbes, understand? So this difference is very clear. Here is what I want to know happens to be what I am. What I want to be. What I want to know is what I want to be. And what I want to be is what I am. That is another problem. So first let us see all the implications. So what I want to know is what I want to be. So now here what I want to be is, I want to be free from small, being small. Want to be free from being small, insignificant, bound by time, place, etc. So I don't want to be. Therefore I want to be somebody, I want to see that not knowing what I want to be. I want this, I want that, I want to fix up a few things. This is exactly what I do. But what I do is not adequate, I can't say. What I do is not what I need to do. Why? Because anything that I do has no connection to my basic problem. So the basic problem is I am small. And anything I do is going to bring about some small change centered on me. So I can have more money and I see myself through that money, that brings about a certain change in me. Oh, I am moneyed now. But that's not, I am insecure and little money means, that doesn't mean in fact that brings in some insecurity also. Because more money means, so there is some insecurity comes along with that. Why? How to take care of it, You buy it. And therefore you buy along with money a sense of insecurity also. And therefore, so this what I do has nothing to do with what I want to be. I want to have a haircut and somebody said bring the scissors and cut. And then I brought the scissors and cut. What? The bushes. I go on getting bushes. Your hair is bushy. Somebody said, therefore cut the, then he goes about cutting the bush. No connection. So see, there is no connection between what I do and what I want to achieve. So seeing this absence of connection, so makes me more directed in the pursuit. That is why I become from a mumukshu, a jignasu. First I want to be free from all these limitations, etc. Then I come to know there is no other way of being free without my being free already. If I am already free alone, there is such freedom. Freedom from limitation must be the very nature of the self. If that is so, then I need to know, not I need to be. In fact, the need to be is resolved by knowing what I am. And therefore, the whole pursuit falls on my own lap. And here, so this makes the whole knowledge rather peculiar. Because, so the self is Ananda, let us say. Ananda means what? Ananda means what obtains when you are happy. That fullness, that subject, object, both of them fall within one full whole being. That wholeness is what is called Ananda. I want to be free from being small, let us say. And then then what I should be? What is the qualification? I say, first achieve what the ignorant can achieve maximum. First, don't bypass that. You cannot bypass. You need to be a person, even ignorant of yourself doesn't matter, but the ignorant samsari is capable of achieving, is capable of growing into a person. That person is someone who doesn't feel I am small, even though there is a basic smallness, not compared smallness, this complex smallness. So comparing oneself with others, there is a smallness. That smallness is unwarranted. It has nothing to do with what I am. And therefore, so I have to grow emotionally here, and then only I am a complete person. As a jiva, as an individual, I need to grow into that person, and therefore there is life. There is a life of what we say yoga, because what you want to know is exactly is what do you want to be. The what you want to be, suppose you want to be free from being small, first don't look at yourself a small person, relatively. If you are going to be all fullness, etc., there should be an element of contentment, satisfaction, centered on you. If that wise person was generally told, that fellow is so samam pashyan sarvatra, so whether he is one samabuddhi, he is the one who has got the same vision, doesn't neither one makes the person more secure or the absence is going to make him less secure. So thus the one who is centered on oneself for his wholeness, for his well-being, he is the wise person. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. So this, if it is so, then how do you become that person? A disgruntled fellow, always grumbling about one thing or the other. The person we say is a murmurer. Heart murmurs, that's a different thing. That is okay, afterwards. He is a murmurer. All his lifetime, murmurer. Means what? Murmurer. In Tamil, munu tal. Means what? Whatever it is, always like this. All useless. What is the use? What is the use of doing all this? That's all. It's always like, yeah, just. So this is the fellow. This is called murmurer. Complaining fellow. So if you look at the horoscope, that's also like this. Horoscope and Shani is like this. And you look at the brother-in-law, he is like this. And that's why we all get married for what? Nothing. We don't get anything out of it. It's like, until phone rings. Hello! Then afterwards again murmur. After phone you put it down, then you always see the phone. What is it? It's always there. So this is a fellow. And he is told, see, he wants to Vedanta because he's got a lot of problems. Therefore he goes to Vedanta, how to get rid of this. Then Vedanta says, God, Ananda. Then he has got a new cause for murmurer, for being a murmurer. So for murmuring, new cause, what? I am Ananda. I said, what do you get listening what? I am not Ananda, but I am always not Ananda. You see my experience. When I hear Ananda, Vedanta says, I am Ananda. He said, all these people, what do they say? If you talk about karma, you will say, yeah, my karma is bad. That's very clear. Any one thing you say, you will convert it into a topic for himself. To murmur. It's all murmur. This fellow is a murmurer. He needs to really take care of himself first. Then Vedanta works. Otherwise, Vedanta becomes another topic for what? Murmur. Another topic for murmur. Why murmur? Why not vocal complaint that he did before? So nobody comes anywhere near him, therefore he started murmuring. Because everybody goes that side. Why? Because this fellow is coming here, doesn't mind walking another block. And one block extra the fellow walks because to avoid this complaining fellow. And therefore, so nobody comes to him, therefore murmur. Always murmur. All people are like this. Once upon a time, when I had money, everybody came. Now nobody comes because I have no money. So murmur. And so, this Vedanta never works. It will not work. Krishna knew. And before Krishna, he himself had, suppose he was Ishvara talking, so he had told in the Veda itself, so one has to be Shantaha, Dhantaha, all these big words are all there. And therefore, there is one who is at peace with himself, the one who has relative peace, relative cheerfulness, the one who can so enjoy a joke at his own cost. The one who cannot enjoy a joke at one's own cost is not fit for Vedanta. I write and give. You should be able to laugh at yourself, then you are ready for Vedanta. And otherwise you will be complaining, you become murmurer, okay? Oh, that fellow talks like that, so I am not like that. How can I be like that? Why people should look at me like this? They are always wrong. They don't know me at all. Hey, why don't you reveal yourself? Such a wonderful fellow, please reveal yourself. They don't know you, but why don't you reveal yourself? That you are such a great, compassionate, voice, intelligent person, why don't you reveal yourself to everybody? How can I reveal myself? Then forget it. This is complaining. Goes on, what is this? Vedanta won't work. And therefore, now we understand. So what is necessary to know Vedanta? You need to be a complete person. Can you explain this complete person means what? I have to be round? No, what? What I should be? What? Complete person means what? You should be like a roller or what? One cylindrical person? Kya baat hai? What is it that you want? Rounded off person? Yeah, rounded off person. Oh, so that you can roll the fellow? So what are you talking? So, well, I tell you what. So, in the areas where you can grow, you have to grow. Correct? Our body is programmed nicely. So what? So wherever it can store fat, it stores. Correct? Wherever it can store fat, it stores. So it stores in places where it can store. So if you eat too many donuts, in small donuts it stores. So wherever it can store, it stores. Yeah, it chooses the places. Means the places which are not much in use, such places like thighs, So there, because the thighs are not much in use, therefore lumps are there in the brain. So so what I say, so wherever it is, wherever it can be safe, it can remain for the wintry day, for the starving day. So it preserves, the body is programmed. And similarly, wherever you can grow, you need to grow. All right, where I have to grow? Body is programmed to keep where it has to keep. But where will I grow? That's very clear. Find out the areas of murmur. Okay? Find out the areas of murmur. Oh, my areas of murmur? Almost everything. Mahaganapatin manasa smarami Mahadeva mudam shirasa
Namami Mahaganapatim Manasa Smarami.